After flying the DJI Mini 3 Pro in the past 2 months or so on a very regular basis and comparing it directly to the Mini 2 and also the Autel Nano Plus, today I'm ready to give you my long-term impressions of the DJI Mini 3 Pro. Let's check it out. Alright, so we have quite a lot of information to cover, so let's first start with the size, the weight, and the build quality of this drone. I think the biggest strength of this drone is the fact that it's a 249 gram drone, meaning that it's very lightweight, it's super compact, you can literally bring it with you anywhere you go if you want to. There's no excuse not to bring it with you, and as a matter of fact, the remote controller of this drone is bigger than the drone itself, so that speaks volumes in my opinion, and it's very convenient to have such a small, portable but also powerful drone with you anywhere you go. Now, speaking about the fact that this drone is very lightweight and compact, there is no way not to mention my other favorite thing about this drone and one of the other biggest strengths of this drone, which is the lack of really annoying noise that it makes. It's just very silent, it's very non-noticeable, and I'll try to say this word, inconspicuous. I believe that's the right way to pronounce it. But yeah, it's really hard to notice that there is a drone in the air. It doesn't attract the attention that pretty much any other drone attracts, which is a great thing if you want to be able to relax while you fly, so you don't have 5 or 6 people coming to you to ask you questions about the drone and how much it costs and how much battery life it has and stuff like that. It's just a peace of mind knowing that you can get your shots at peace without being disturbed by other people, which is a great thing and I think shouldn't be overlooked. Obviously, it doesn't matter if the drone is small, compact and silent if it doesn't have a good camera. This is a camera drone, this is what it's made to do, so obviously the camera is the most important feature of this drone. And luckily, it doesn't disappoint. For me, the fact that this drone shoots 4K 60 frames per second, meaning that you can not only shoot in regular 30 frames per second, but also 60 to slow down your footage in post later if you really need to. The fact that you have an aperture of f1.7, meaning that you have a lot more light coming into the sensor, resulting in a lot better and sharper looking footage. 10-bit D-Cine-like color profile, which is huge for this drone as it really gives you the ability to push your footage a lot more than you normally would with an 8-bit footage. And lastly, the fact that you can shoot RAW photos on it makes this whole aspect of having this camera great. And it gives me great pleasure to know that the camera is that good, because sometimes in the past when dealing with smaller drones like the Mini 1 or the Mini 2, I felt like I'm missing out when I'm not bringing my bigger and better drones. Right now, of course, this is no match for the Mavic 3. Of course, the Mavic 3 is that much better. However, I don't feel like the distance in terms of quality between the two is that significant. If you're only looking for, flying casually, if you're shooting for YouTube, you can really get away with only filming with the Mini 3 Pro. You don't need the bigger, better stuff to have good quality image. And let's not forget something that I made an entire video about, one feature that I think shouldn't be overlooked, and that's the upward gimbal tilt of the Mini 3 Pro. Because of the new design of the body, you have so much space for the camera to move up, and you can actually tilt it so high up to create those shots that otherwise have never been possible before. Not only that, of course, because of that design, you can twist the camera, rotate the camera in a vertical way to shoot for Instagram, TikTok, or whatever you prefer. I personally don't feel like I use this feature enough. I use it for photos because I tend to mostly shoot my photos for Instagram, which is where I post them the most. So vertical shooting is mostly usable for me in photo mode. However, for creators who are looking for video capabilities in a vertical format, the Mini 3 Pro is definitely the one to get. Now, another thing I want to talk about and focus on is this remote controller. This is a big talking point when it comes to the DJI Mini 3 Pro Because of this built-in screen, 5.5 inches, 700 nits of brightness, built-in antennas, don't fall, and 4 hours of operating time, up to 4 hours. One of the things I notice and like about this drone a lot is the fact that I don't have to always keep it charged. It lasts forever. I've never experienced any range issues. I know some people have been complaining about the fact that this has built-in antennas, meaning that they are a little bit tucked in and they don't produce the best signal for the Mini 3 Pro to use when flying a little bit further away. However, I've never experienced any issues with the signal strength and the range I'm getting with the Mini 3 Pro. If I really want to push this drone, it will not be in an area where I can get a lot of signal interference. It won't be in the city. So far, in the areas where I've tested this drone, it has been rock solid and I've never had any issues with the signal strength or the range. I might have been one of the lucky people to not experience any issues, but these are my impressions and they have been good up until this point. Now, I have two main complaints about the Mini 3 Pro. The first of them is that DJI was putting ND filters in the Fly More kits of many of their recent drones, but they didn't do it this time with the Mini 3 Pro. So no ND filters in the package of the Mini 3 Pro this time, even though you're getting the Fly More kit, which comes with so many different accessories, but no ND filters. And since I still don't have any ND filters, I'm waiting for my Polar Pro filters to arrive any day now, but I've been using this drone without any ND filters for these 2 or so months that I have been flying it. I don't like the fact that I'm that limited because I'm used to using ND filters on every single camera I own, but I just completely missed the mark this time by not getting filters any earlier. I still don't have any ND filters to use on the Mini 3 Pro, but still, I believe my footage is still great looking. I might be a little bit biased. You will tell me in the comments below, but I think the lack of ND filters is not a deal breaker. However, it would have been really good if we at least had some ND filters to use. Now, my next complaint is the following. Imagine this scenario. I have three batteries for the Mini 3 Pro. I want to change one of them, and I have them with me inside my backpack. I'm taking one out, and I'm not sure how much charge it has. Now, to check that, I need to either eject the battery that is currently in the drone, put it inside and press the button to see how much charge it has, or I need to put it in this charger that comes with the Fly More kit. So I can press that little button here and it will show me how much charge I have. But if I don't have this with me, there's no way to easily check the status of the battery and how much charge it has. It's a really small thing, I know it's a small complaint, but sometimes when you're dealing with a lot of batteries, a lot of changes of those batteries, you get confused which battery you've already used, which one is new and fully charged, and you're losing time exchanging those batteries and checking the status and the charge level. So it's really not ideal unless you bring this with you everywhere you go. So this has been my way of dealing with this issue. I just put them here and this is the way I bring them with me, always with this. That way I can also use this as a power bank, which could be a great thing. Sometimes you really need more charge and you can use that to charge some other devices. But it's a small thing that I just had to share it. Now, some people would complain that the Mini 3 Pro is very expensive. And to be honest, I wouldn't really say it's very expensive, but it is more on the expensive side, especially if you compare it to the Mini 2. If you're coming from the Mini 2, of course, it's a jump up from the previous price that you have paid for the Mini 2, but you're getting more for your money. You're getting so many more features that previously have never been present on a DJI Mini drone, such as Active Track, Focus Track, Hyperlapse, you have Decent-alike and 10-bit. You have all of these things that, of course, are a step up coming from the Mini 2. So it makes sense that it's going to be a little bit more expensive, especially if you opt for that bundle that comes with the DJI RC, which is the one that I highly recommend you to get if you're planning to buy one, because it just works. and it's very, very convenient to have. One of the biggest competitors of this drone is this right here, the Autel Nano Plus, and I made a full video comparing these two. So make sure you go ahead and check that out if you're interested in a comparison between the two. So personally, I would still go for this one. If I'm choosing between the two, I would still choose the Mini 3 Pro, even though this one has some very strong points and strong features which are better than the Mini 3 Pro, but in general, overall, I think this one is the better buy. So to sum everything up, I think the Mini 3 Pro is a fantastic choice for anyone looking to buy a sub 250 gram drone. It's had a lot of new features and improvements over the months that has been out on the market from DJI. It has received a couple of former updates already, and I think DJI is doing a great job of supporting this drone so far. I'm really excited for the future. Hopefully they will add even more things to it and make it even better. So that's everything I have for you today, guys. I hope you found this video interesting and informative. If you did, you already know what to do. Blow up the like button, subscribe for more videos like this one. This is Mike from Drone Supremacy. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.